Does YouTube hate you? It's a question I keep wondering, and yet ultimately I do know the answer. It's quite obvious. It's easy to be confused and hurt when you're first starting YouTube. I can tell you that from personal experience because I am a new YouTuber myself and constantly finding myself feeling a bit left in the cold by the algorithm. So what's going wrong? One important thing for success on YouTube is to create interesting content. But that's not enough. Your content needs to be polished and seem professional. And yet, even if you check all those boxes, you can still end up falling flat on your face. Man, that's some sucky ass shit. Things to remember, there are people who have bigger channels than you. That's where the views are going. Some content is going to be easier to market than others, and when it comes to certain topics, they may already be well covered. It's like trying to impress that girl with your Honda Civic while some of the other people out there are driving their Beamers and their Mercedes. You're just not as cool as them, and YouTube is thinking the same thing. That is why they are getting the views and you are not. But don't let that stop you. The Honda Civic is still a great car, and if you keep working at it, you will get that Beamer. I mean, that's what I'm hoping. My passion is movies, TV shows, and video games, and it doesn't take a genius to see that that subject is pretty well covered on YouTube. And yet, like a kid sticking his tongue to the telephone pole, I just keep on trying, and my tongue is starting to get sore, but I'm going to keep on doing it because I like the pole. Remember, you are doing this for a reason. Keep that reason in your head, and don't get discouraged. Try not to get too jelly of the people that are doing better than you. Remember, an algorithm's deciding your fate, and so some of it is just not in your control. Be sure to check out your competition, but don't copy them. If you copy them, then why should viewers watch you? If you're just going to be more of the same, then there is no incentive to switch from that person to you. You need to make sure that you are unique. What makes you different? When I first started thinking about starting a YouTube review channel, I was already a fan of Stuckman and Jeremy Jahns. These two have very interesting channels. I love their content, and I was really enjoying their perspective, but I didn't always agree with their perspective. And that's when I realized there is room for more people in this market because not everyone is going to agree with Chris or agree with Jeremy. And so there is room for more people to get into this market. It's just going to be harder, but I very much admire these guys. I think they have a lot of great content. They are doing very well for themselves, and they are two people that I very much look up to, yet now I consider them to be slightly competitors because in the end, we are fighting for the same views. And I'm going to get those views, Chris. I'm going to get those views. You and Jeremy, you better share because I'm here to play. Learn the studio dashboard. There's a lot of really useful information on there that can really help guide you towards making content that's going to be successful. There's a tab on there that used to be called the research tab. Now it is called the inspiration tab. And if you go to there, you're going to see recent searches. You can search for certain topics. You can see videos that people are viewing, and you can use this to your advantage. You can look at some of those thumbnails, look at some of these run times, look at some of these subjects and decide, what should I do? You don't have to copy these molds, but these are good ways to steer you in the right direction to find out what is your audience interested in. And when you first start out your channel, you might not have very much information in this tab because your channel is so new, you might not have much of an audience, but it will eventually get there and it is going to be helpful. I find myself looking at it every once in a while. I don't look at it as much as I should, and that is probably slowing me down a bit. But yeah, don't sleep on the information that is available to you on the studio dashboard. There's a lot of really cool information. The analytics tab shows you, your views. You can also see your audience, the demographics, the type of people that are watching your audience. Do you want to reach a certain type of people and you're not reaching those type of people? Use this information to figure out how are you going to reach that audience. Do you want to grab the Gen Zs? Do you want to grab people 65 and up? You can use this tab to find out what you need to do. Now here's some unsolicited advice that you probably didn't ask for, but I'm going to tell you anyways because I'm a talker, guys. I am a talker. Now, when I first started this process, I was using iMovie. Now I'm using Final Cut Pro. It has been well worth the $300, and unlike Adobe, you actually get to own it. Just check out this interface for Final Cut Pro. It's pretty intuitive, and while there is a lot to learn, it's got an easier learning curve than certain other ones. DaVinci Resolve. What? I didn't say anything. Did I say something? I didn't hear anything. There's an array of very cool tools that come built in, but you can also look online for additional plugins if you feel like what you're seeing is not quite enough. For thumbnails, I'm now using Affinity Photo, but when I first started this, I was using photopea.com. It is a clone of Adobe Photoshop, but probably not quite as well versed and, as useful as Photoshop. But for a free product, it is awesome. Affinity Photo costs a little bit more money, but this is a very awesome product. I love it a lot. It has been making my job so so much easier. And yes, it's even better than photopea, although mad props to photopea. You made a really great product. I love it. Whichever option you choose to use, I would caution against using something that has a subscription model. All you're doing is putting money into the CEO's pocket to help pay for the fuel for his ridiculous yacht. And it is just something that is just over the top and ridiculous, especially when you're first starting out and YouTube is not paying you. If you're not monetized, why would you spend money on making your content? You need to keep your costs down. Don't use subscription models. That's my opinion. In terms of getting a content boost, well, from everything I've heard, ads will actually kind of hurt your channel, and it's mostly just a way to flush money down the drain. Some of these things don't even really help you very much. And just look at this message in the promotions tab. Why would you pay for this promotions tab if it's not going to help you with your view time and your subscribers? YouTube, what the hell is going on here? That is some grade A bullshit. I'm not going to use it. Are you using it? If you've used it, let me know. Is it actually helping? Did it hurt you? I've heard mixed opinions on this, so I'm steering clear, but I'm willing to entertain the idea. It's just, it seems like I've heard it sucks. So does YouTube hate you? Of course not, but maybe the algorithm does. Break out that bottle of wine. Try on that new suit. Sometimes you gotta wine and dine someone to get them interested in you. And that includes the algorithm. The algorithm likes to be wined and dined too. Do what you need to do to make sure the algorithm is working for you. But just don't get discouraged, because sometimes, no matter what you do, your videos might just fall flat. And that is because there's other people's videos that are more popular than yours. It's something that really sucks. It is kind of discouraging, especially when you put a lot of time and effort into making something. And yet this game is something that everyone has played. Those big YouTubers like Stuckman and Jeremy Jahns, I'm mentioning them because those are the two people that I most connect to. They worked their asses off to get where they are. I am sure that they went through all the same nonsense and bullshit that I went through, and yet look where they are now. It is possible. There is a solution for you to get to where you want. You just have to keep trying. Don't let those low views and low numbers discourage you. If you keep at it, I am sure that you and me, we will find success on YouTube. So keep trying, keep improving, and just keep going. That's my thoughts on this matter. I hope it helped a little bit. If it did, please put your thoughts in the comments and let me know. Also, if you have some advice for me in terms of things that you think I could do to improve my channel, to help me get bigger, I'm open to suggestion. I might not always listen to all the suggestions people give me, but it goes in here. It goes in here, and maybe I might circle back to that suggestion a little bit later on. That's just how I am. I'm a bit stubborn. I like to fall on my own. I like to learn things on my own, but you know, I am willing to listen. So anyway, put your thoughts in the comments. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button so that I can know that you like it. And if you want to hear my movie reviews, my TV show reviews, my video game reviews, see some of my gameplay videos, I don't do a ton of it, but if you want to see any of these things, then subscribe to this channel. Later.